All right, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on our beautiful new earth as we enter into our ascending being healing. And we are going to be working with the Aqualorians and the Aqualorian Crystalline Light Healing for this session. And a few things. I know some people aren't familiar with all of my work, and this is one of the most popular sessions that people download in the future. So hello and welcome. I'm Sherry Mosley, and I work primarily in Akashic Enlightenment, the Akashic Records, and the Book of Truth. And we are accessing your Akashic Records and the higher dimensional universal knowledge of all that is through the Book of Truth. And this is what Akashic Enlightenment is. And within this field, we then access or connect to the dimensional frame of consciousness and frequency of the Aqualorians and the Aqualorian Crystalline Light Healing. And the Aqualorian Crystalline Light Healing allows people to move to this higher dimensional space of healing from a ninth density frequency. And the Akashic Enlightenment brings it all the way up to what is considered a 12th density frequency. And this is bringing in that full ascending consciousness template. And in this case, it's being directly applied to a personal healing session. So the Aqualorians, they are working on all levels of healing in the auric field and the energy bodies. So we are connecting to, of course, the physical and the etheric plane. And then we are connecting to the astral emotional, the astral mental, and of course, the causal plane, right? This is where we remove the karmic things that are occurring. And we do this by going up into the higher dimensional planes above this, right? Or you could say deeper beyond this. And these are bringing in the spiritual higher consciousness, the spiritual body, or sometimes called the divine body. Okay. I tend to call this the trickle down. And both Akashic Enlightenment and the Aqualorians work in that capacity. The Aqualorian Crystalline Light Healing also accesses all of the organ systems. So you may feel it if you're asking for a physical healing, because this personal healing is going to be whatever your intention is, whatever you focus on, it'll go towards that. And so you may feel it in the organ systems, you may feel it in the chakra systems, and then you may feel it emotionally, like being calm, sleepy, peaceful. It will also reset the toroidal field, which is the field that kind of rotates around your body and comes up the center like a donut, right? And what this is doing is it's putting on the exterior planes whatever is occurring in the interior frequencies of your consciousness, right? So you could call that like the projector, right? It's emanating that frequency out, which is why we like to do this level of healing frequently, so that we are clearing the energy that is being more or less interfaced with exteriorly, the illusion of exteriorly, if you want to go into high consciousness perspective about it. And it's helping you to come into a more clear space, meaning that you're not functioning from a place of karma, and you're not functioning from a place of egoic reaction. And, that'll trickle down into like patterns of pain and suffering, as well as like victim mentalities, or things usually trickle down to a level of fear of death, survival, all of those things. And these are actually, more triggered frequencies as we are going through accelerated awakening on our planet and also individually. So this will be really helpful in clearing all of those aspects. You also may receive a personal upgrade, right? So this may be like what people call a DNA activation, right? If you need any upgrades to your consciousness. You could say this is what's called the highest and best intention, right? So if we do the session and you just say, just bring in whatever's highest and best for me, you're allowing spirit to align you with whatever upgrades you may need or anything that needs to be cleared or shifted that's in your highest and best, right? And so that is a sense of, you can then use this for a consciousness acceleration in terms of maybe you feel like there's nothing that you really need to clear or work on in the moment that you're doing the session. And so you can just allow it to choose for you. And that may be accelerating you on your path in a certain direction. So, depending on what intention you have in mind at the beginning of the session, will more or less depict what occurs afterwards. And I'd say, you can definitely use this daily as a healing session or a meditation. And if you do that, if you use the same intention every day, it may not be as strong because you continue to work in the same area. And then be aware of things that you feel called to change in your life after doing these sessions. All right. And this will usually repeat. So if you're unsure about it, is this coming from an egoic level or a place of fear or unconsciousness? And just wait and it'll come in again as something that maybe needs to be shifted or changed in the material reality. So this could be, as an example, let's say you're getting headaches and the actual root cause is dehydration, right? And so instead of maybe you're thinking, oh, I have to eat more food or I have to exercise more, right? But really, it's that you need to hydrate more. And that's, after you do the Aqualorian, this personal healing session, it will allow you to be moved more into alignment of having that realization and being able to move forward with it. Okay, so listen to any kind of, you could call it gentle promptings to changes that you need to do in your lifestyle. Or you could even use this for maybe decisions that you're unsure of to be aligned with your highest possibility of a certain situation. Okay, so again, it's really what you have in mind, and you can say it out loud. You can even write it down if you'd like to at the beginning of the session. And then this is more or less your request to be worked on for this session. I'm trying to think of if there's any other things. So I think that's it, and some people feel it if you are asking for something like a physical pain that you have, those tend to be usually pretty immediate that people receive. And even if you don't, if you do highest and best, you may feel, oh, my back is suddenly better. And it was hurting so much before. And, or my knee was hurting and now I feel so much better. Or, I feel so much lighter and clear of mind. Okay. So some things can be immediate and then other things can take longer. And this also depends on how, you could say, serious something is, which usually depends on how long it's been there. So for more chronic conditions, I'd say you definitely need more sessions. All right. And you will have to do, again, the lifestyle changes that are brought to your consciousness through doing the session. Okay. And of course, if it still persists, then you may just need a personal session, right? You may be resisting it just too much, right? We all have free will to continue in our distortions if we are usually too afraid to move outside of them to another consciousness frequency. Okay, so when we do these sessions, you want to make sure that your arms and legs are uncrossed. Okay, this is allowing the meridian channels to be open because you may also receive healing and shifting with the chi flowing through the meridians, all right, as well as You want to make sure that your spine is straight, okay? Because you may feel the energy flowing up and down the spine. And even if the head is tilted, you may feel that. It may feel like a block, right? So if you are getting restless, just check your positioning. And also, sometimes you can get restless. If you are laying down, you can be laying down or seated when we do this session. And you just want to make sure that if you get restless in either position, you can change your position, just trying to keep the arms and legs uncrossed and the spine straight. Usually, if anybody gets restless, it tends to happen when they're in a laying down position, which means maybe you need to roll on your side. Okay. And that can just help the energies assimilate better. And sometimes you may feel like you can't move at all, okay, because the energies are so intense. And that's okay. Just allow the energies to do what they're doing, and that will pass. Okay. And that's just the energies working very deeply. You can say that you are put into such a deep frequency of consciousness that it's hard to move, okay? Because your brainwave function is on a very deep meditative level, receiving the consciousness shifts, okay? This is a common thing that can occur with what we call, it could be shamanic healing, right? Or energy healing. Other things that people have experienced, sometimes you may feel like a tingling in the hands or the legs, and this is just the energy and the chi moving and activating, and that's fine. You may also experience a temperature shift, and this is usually with deeper clearing and healing occurring within you. And again, that usually passes, okay? It's usually not too extreme. But sometimes it can get to a point of maybe perspiring a little bit. Okay. But again, that will pass. And then you want to make sure that you hydrate plenty afterwards. After doing these sessions, you're shifting your energy and your frequency and your cellular structures. And the Aqualorians actually are working on all the fluid, the frequency within the fluids of the body, because we are primarily water. And this is the easy way to shift everything within us. So drinking plenty of water afterwards just allows you to have any natural detox as the body is clearing out, as well as shifting and assimilating whatever came in with the session. Okay. And you may also see or feel the beautiful Aqualorians connecting with you. And, I met them in Mount Shasta in 2018, and they're very benevolent and very kind and loving. They tend to show their face if they're working on you. They have very kind of calm, very, very calm eyes that they will look at you with. And, the typical kind of almond shaped eyes and, like a humanoid type head, kind of the traditional extraterrestrial look. Some of them wear robes. Okay, the higher up Aqualorians wear robes because we'll be accessing all the different levels of the Aqualorian Crystalline Light Healing that I've been attuned to since 2018, since visiting Mount Shasta. They attuned me to 11 different levels. And so I'll be running the frequencies from those different levels, which access different groups of the Aqualorians. They have a kind of a large community, you could say, and just like our communities, they have certain roles. So there are, teachers and healers, and there are different frequencies that come in with that, as well as the healing tools that I'll be applying. I won't be mentioning the individual tools as I'm going through. I'll just activate them as we go along. So you may feel things kind of accelerate or get deeper as we go along. And that's me just accessing the higher dimensional crystalline light healing tools individually, bringing them in to accelerate or deepen the session more. And yeah, if you want to learn more about the Aqualorians, you can do the Aqualorian Crystalline Light Healing trainings or the Aqualorian Light Being attunements. That's a good way to learn more about these beautiful angelic level interdimensional beings. And yeah, so you may see them and you may feel them maybe like gently touching your skin or just working around you. Okay, as we do the healing session. Okay, so I'm starting to feel the energies, which means we're getting to the point it's time to do the healing session. All right, so you can go ahead and just have your intention. This will be a 30-minute energy healing. So just take a minute to know what you would like to receive for healing. All right, it can be anything on any level, even things that you're struggling with trying to figure out, maybe finding a solution to those things. All right, and then I will prompt you right when we go in to specifically think of your intention. Again, if you don't have one, a specific one, you can just say whatever's highest and best. Okay, and if you would like, when you're doing the replay, I wouldn't say to do this live right now, but in the replay, feel free to open your own Akashic Enlightenment just to put you a little deeper into the frequency of, or your higher frequency, the Akashic field. Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and open the space and we'll go ahead and do our ascending being healing. Okay. Let's see what they bring in for you. Okay. See you on the other side.